Hey everybody, I'm Ted from Tebex. In this tutorial we are looking at a new plugin for Minecraft called Donation Trains. If you're not familiar with the term donation trains, I think this is something that originated from the streaming world. This is where if someone makes a donation, a timer will start, and every time someone makes a donation, the timer will reset. And then the goal is to not let the timer run out. And the timer will be on screen counting down, adding to the dramatic effect of the timer running down. On screen, it will also tell you how long the train has been going on for. Even though it's called donation trains, in the context of Tebex, you're always getting something digital. So this could be a serial key, a role in a Discord, or some sort of item in-game, or a combination of those. If we go to Tebex, under engagement, we have our community goals. Let's click on create first community goal. So I gave the goal a name, server hosting, and the description. This goal covers the monthly server hosting. The target is $50. The status is active. Anything else I left default. You can see at the bottom, we are able to run a server command once this goal has been reached. I'm not going to do that for this package, but you could, for example, also say globally in chat that this goal has been reached. So I'm going to say create, then I'm going to create another community goal. I created another goal, server upgrade, and it says this goal will help us get a more powerful dedicated server. The goal, $250. Of course, you can configure this exactly how you want to. I'm just using this as an example in combination with the donation trains plugin. So we made those two community goals. Let's make sure they are shown on our sidebar. So under web store, let's go to sidebar and then set up first module. And we're going to add our community goal and we're going to select server hosting. I do want to display the goal amount and I also want to animate the goal bar. Let's set a start date and an end date and let's click on create. And let's do the same for our second goal. So let's select server upgrade. So here we have our community goals on our web store. Let's use the plugin to tie into those community goals. So if we look at our plugins folder on my server, we need a few plugins to get this all working. Of course, we have the donations train plugin. This requires the placeholder API. So we need those two to get that working. We have Essentials X. We will use this later on to give money. This is just for this example. You don't need Essentials X to get this working. You can use any plugin or run any command. I just wanted to demonstrate using some sort of economy. We also have Vault, Essentials X, and Lock Perms need these to work properly. And we have Bycraft, which is the Tebex plugin to get everything linked up to our web store. Since the plugin is in my folder, it should have generated all the configuration files. So let's go inside of donation train and then inside of config.yml. And let's look at what kind of options we have. First of all, we have the duration of the timer. This is set to 1800 seconds or 30 minutes. We then have the option to reset on timer. This is probably what you want, but there is an option to disable this. So these are our goals. By default, there are three set up: the epic, the rare, and the vote goal. Of course, you can change this and rename this however you want. All three of these have their own display name, a threshold, and a command to run. I will explain the threshold and how we can trigger this in a little bit. First of all, we don't have three, we only have two. So I'm going to remove one of the goals. Let's change them one by one. I'm going to change the name. So I'm just going to say server, and this I'm going to say upgrade. And then let's change the name as well. Server hosting goal, and this was 50. We'll come back to the command in a second. And then let's do the upgrade. So let's do server upgrade. And this was 250. Oh, let's not do that. Let's do 250. And then for the commands, of course, you can run any command that is in Minecraft or in any plugin that you're running. In my example, I want to do something with economy. Let's go into Minecraft and figure out what command we need to run. For this, I'm going to be using Essentials X. So I'm going to say eco for economy, give, and then who do we want to give this money? So for this test, I'm just going to say my username, Tebex Academy. And then it says, how much do you want to give or how many? So I'm going to say 10. And it says $10 has been added to your account. We need to change this a little bit. If we go back to eco give, we have this option. And this is basically all players. So I can say give all players 100, or let's do 1,000, so it's different. And it says 1,000 has been added to your account. So we can use those 2 stars or wildcards as they are called to give something to all players. So the command is eco star star, the wildcard, and then the amount. So let's do 500 and let's copy this. And then if we go to our server, we're going to remove this command to run. We're going to remove the slash. We don't need that. And then I'm just going to do the same thing, but a way higher amount. Let's do 10,000 and make sure we also remove the slash. So now those should be set up. Of course, you can add multiple commands to run. Just make sure that you use the correct format. So then there is a boss bar setting, but of course it needs to suit the style of your server. Basically, like it says, this has a big boss bar at the top, kind of like you have to defeat a boss by keeping up the train. I think it's a cool idea. There are a few things that we can change, either if it's true or not. The interval, by default, it's 5 seconds, so the timer updates every 5 seconds. Yes, you could set this lower to 1 second. This will also ask more from your server. We have some formatting options, so these are colors and these are placeholders. And if you're not familiar with placeholders, you can see here, this works exactly the same as a variable in Tebex. So this is going to be replaced with the actual amount. The amount of what? The current donated amount. You can use this documentation to see exactly what options you have and what kind of data they represent. I'm just going to change the name. You could of course change the colors, anything you want. We have some broadcast settings, either if they are on or off, enabled yes or no. The interval, every 300 seconds, it will update us what the current status is. And then if it's just an interval, what message should be set. If the goal is surpassed, what message should be set. And also if the goal has been reached, what message should be set. And again, you can use the colors and the placeholders to really craft or change the message to your liking. So let's save and exit. I restarted my server. Let's reconnect to it. This way the plugin will load all the new settings. Let's make it day. That's really bright. So now how does this work? We can simply do /donation train, then add, and then the amount we want to add to the train. So let's do 10 and press enter. And we get a message in the bottom left. Donation train, the server has made $10 and there's 30 minutes time left. Current goal, none. Next goal, server hosting goal, $50. And then donate at shop.example.com. So we definitely want to change that link. But you can see on the top as well, we have our boss bar. The timer is ticking down. Let's do it like this so it's more readable. And as you can see, when we add to the amount, it goes up. I think this looks pretty cool. I spotted another issue. It says here, all players will receive one server hosting goal in 30 minutes. So that message is also not correct. So let's go back to the donation train inside of config.yml. So we can see here, goal surpassed. It says all players will receive and then goal display name. So that placeholder automatically made it into one server upgrade. So I changed it to players will receive their rewards in and then time remaining. So let's change that link. And up here it is again. So let's save this and then let's restart the server again. Yeah, and we're connecting to the server again. Let's make it day. So let's try again. Bottom left, we can now see the proper link. In the top, we still have the boss HP bar, and the boss is the biggest goal. So this is 250. You can see if I would do donation train at 200, you can see we're at 250 and all goals are done. And then we should get an interval update in a little bit, telling us about the status and telling us what is going to happen, hopefully giving us a better message as well. So while we wait for that message, let's go to Tebex and use this command. So let's go to packages and let's create our first package. So let's say we have our package with a name, description. You want to make it a little bit more descriptive, but our description, we have a category. We set our price. We can then at the bottom add a server command. We have to select our server. So I'm going to select my server. This is already linked. If you haven't done this yet, go to the video description. There will be a tutorial where we explain how to do this. So I'm going to select the correct server to run the command on, and then let's add our command. And it's as simple as doing donation train add 5, because our price is 5. So it's going to add $5 to the donation train, and it will automatically run this on the server. We can, of course, add more things. If you want to keep track of who donated to your goal, you could, for example, add another command, and then we can add the command to add a player to a group. You could have a server upgrade group or whatever you want to call it, and also add the players to that group so you know exactly who helped you towards that goal. Of course, instead of directly using Tebex Academy or my username, we have to use a variable. In our case, we're going to use the name variable. This is for Java Minecraft. So this will automatically get the name from whoever is logged into our Tebex store. So this way they are added to the group. It is automatically added to the donations train inside of the server. Let's click on create. And now we just need to add this package to our community goal on Tebex as well. So let's go to engagement and go back to our community goals and make sure that we edit those and add our packages. So under package, we can now select our armor package or any package that you need to attach to this goal. And then let's update this. And let's also update the server upgrade package. I don't think I pointed it out earlier, but in the top right, when we made this goal, actually, I can make another one. And it should say, if we go back to web store and go to sidebar, does it say when editing? Yes, it says excludes manual payments. I will still use a manual payment to demonstrate this, but it will just not show on the module inside of Tebex. Everything will still work. The module on Tebex will only update if it's a genuine sale. But by linking those packages to those goals, everything will work once there are actual payments coming in. So talking about manual payments, let's make a manual payment. Going to payments, creating a manual payment. So I'm going to fill in my username and select my armor package. So then let's click on create. And as you can see, it came in. So the timer has been reset as well. We can see up here, it has been added to the total. I got this message because I'm an admin that indeed I have been added to the VIP group. Unfortunately, it will not update on Tebex unless there is a real payment, but everything is linked up together. And as you see, everything is working. I think this is a really interesting plugin. I like the customization. I like the visuals of it. Hopefully this was helpful. If you're not done watching yet, you can click here on the right for our latest release or on the left for something that we think suits you best. If you think I want even more, of course, feel free to subscribe. This way you will be notified when we release new content every Friday. If anything is unclear, feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, thank you for watching and good luck with your Tebex store.